J Trade Universe, it's your boy. As promised, guys, I have to drop a video, and the video is meant to address a lot of issues that a lot of clients are facing in trading, basically. So, part of you being unsuccessful in trading might be a lot of conflict of interest that the broker implements your without you being aware. So I said I'm gonna drop a video, and the video will play for like 10 minutes or less, addressing issues that are basically are, are faced with so many people, and those issues basically arise from how they conduct their own businesses, right? So now I'm gonna start here, guys. A lot of people are trading with brokers that are not regulated, especially in South Africa. I don't know about the entire continent. I don't know about the whole Africa, you know. But I would know a lot of South African traders are trading with brokers that are just emerging. Some of them we don't even know their FSCA number. We don't know even their license number. So that is also like a red flag to you as a trader, because of, and I've mentioned in my previous video that we have to kill the mentality of I'm just focused in making the money. I don't care of how they run their businesses, right? Because how they run their businesses will also in the later stage affect you, because you're trying to grow in this industry that is so much broad. So you have to have knowledge, at your disposal, just in case of anything. In case of anything, you have to also have knowledge that you can use. So, firstly, let's start with the broker. We understand that we cannot buy straight from the markets, right? We cannot buy straight from the markets. So, we are buying contracts for differences, right? So you are buying a contract for difference. You are buying a mirrored market, that's being bought and sold back to you at a fee, and the fee that the broker will take to basically fill your order will be called a spread, right? So now those those tho- those ones who are trading with brokers that are not regulated, you don't even know what kind of manipulation that the broker is actually implementing in their servers. That's the first thing. So make sure that your broker is regulated. So the broker that regulates brokers in South Africa, I know they have offices in next to Main Lane, right? It has to be the financial sector conduct authority, right? So what they do is they regulate, how the broker is structured and how they run their business. So that's what they do, right? So the first thing we're going to talk about today is the regulation. Let's talk about regulation. Why is it important for a broker to be regulated? It's important for a broker to be regulated because it cannot further manipulate their clients' accounts. It cannot further manipulate the client's account. So that's the first thing that we have to also look at, which is broad, which is important. Regulation is important because regulation means there is at least less. How are you? Good, good. Less conflict of interest. So now let's go back to the second one. No, no, let's just head forward to the second one. The second one will be, when it comes to spread. This one it will be, but we'll try and just, when it comes to spread, different brokers implement different spreads, right? We know that, right? But you would see that during off-peak business hours, the spread is actually broad, or bigger. So the spread goes bigger, goes smaller, bigger, smaller, bigger, smaller, right? So this you will notice because the broker tries to protect its own capital, from exposure. So the broker actually wants you to transact when a lot of people are in the same boat. They want us to transact in the same time. Don't transact in off-peak hours when it's, it's not, it's less busy, like in the Asian hours or the Australian hours. They don't want us to transact in those hours. Watch those, study those, make sure that you are understanding. So what the brokers will do is they'll constantly manipulate spread. You have a certain point of spread, during the early hours of the London session. You have the same spread, just overlapping, going to the United States session. Then you have a bit of that spread just kind of, enlarging, or kind of broadening during the closing hours of New York, right? So the broker makes sure that you do not you do not just gain advantage over their markets, right? So we're gonna have to talk about spread, even in because, guys, I can't make one video and it's 10 minutes and the video addresses a lot. So the three things that I'm gonna cover regulation, and I think on the next video then I'll talk about VDPs. I'll talk about visual dealer plugins. You had Refilwe Nkele speak at length about how that is just happening, and it's basically like an issue, and a lot of other retail traders are not very much aware. There's a guy called Anthony Krill. He speaks a lot about the business in behind the brokers. So, guys, like, there's a whole lot that we have to constantly kind of unpack, constantly kind of bring to light, because of it might be the main reason why a lot of people are not profitable. So for today, because this is just an introductory video towards me speaking about brokers, I'm gonna have to just focus a lot on speaking about regulation, because that's the first. If your broker is not regulated, it's already a red flag. There will be so much conflict of interest that comes from that broker, because at any time they liquidate, they run away, they close shop, they run away with our money. So that's the first thing we need to do as retail traders, is to basically be aware of how are we defended, how are we being protected from, I think that's the right term, how are we being protected from basically this kind of exposure of the market, and how are we protected in terms of how the broker transacts with us. Some people are able to make deposits, but they are unable to make withdrawals, because it's part of a broker. There is kind of broker business for people to blow. You'll know if you are dealing with a B-book dealer desk broker. You'd understand if you are dealing with a hybrid broker. You would understand those things. So we have to actually bring these matters to light. We have to actually address these matters, because they are the issues that are basically curbing the success of a retail trader, right? They are the issues that are just making us less profitable in the market, right? So if you deal with that one first, then you are able to deal with so many other issues that are just maybe after this one, right? Oh, guys, I'm speaking so quick because I wanted to make this video 10 minutes and drop this video on my Facebook. But of course, it has to go to my Twitter channel, and my Twitter channel is JTrace Universe. Guys, let's engage. Let's talk. Let's continue to have a dialogue around this business. Let's continue to have a dialogue around how these businesses are structured. Let's continue to have a dialogue around how everything else unfolds, and let's make sure that everybody understands, understands. The Bible says, my people are killed or my people are destroyed for they lack wisdom. Let's make sure that we are aware. Let's make sure that we are after being wise before everything else, and then that will come and then multiply. But let's speak from the business of the broker. Let's speak from how the broker is actually, they have to, because the first conflict of interest will stem from a broker being unregulated. If a broker is not regulated, then that's already like a red flag. It shouldn't be like that. There should be a bit of a regulation around that broker, then that will minimize conflict of interest. So, guys, I urge you, make sure you know your broker license, whatever broker that you are transacting with, and guys, man, as a disclaimer to all my videos, I'm not saying most of the content that I'm gonna be putting, on my YouTube channel, which is basically for my, Facebook followers and for my Twitter followers, right? I'm not saying, and I don't want you guys to quote me wrong. I'm not saying that I know. I am saying this is the information that I've learned, that I read about, that other people whom are very prominent in this industry have been talking about, right? There are so many people talking about this, but this is not made to be basically, to be running beyond